Broncos country, let's ride.
Breaking news.
Michael Bruntz.
This is the second time that breaking news has happened right when I come on the show. That's a good life lesson to be learned in all this. If you're going to give somebody over $100 million, make sure they're not weird.
Michael Bruntz, Husker 24/7.
Michael Bruntz, Husker 247, joins us now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. What's up, dog?
Nothing. What's up? What's up with you?
Bow, wow, wow. Yippee-yo, yippee-yay. I don't know. That song just put me in the right mood today. I liked it.
Something occurred to me as I was briefly on hold there.
Mm-hmm.
With Nebraska playing Penn State, that means there's going to be a lot of Wildcat type.
Oh, that's
this week.
right. We need to bring that back. Yeah. People will be requesting that tweet all day long on Saturday until we get to the game. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah. No, I don't know how, but it has escaped me until just now. So I got that to look forward to.
Hey, do you have a jump scare every time that we start your open and Russell Wilson starts saying Broncos country, let's ride?
I don't know if you obviously have never been a guest on your own show. I don't know if I'm like breaking like a wall here or
go for it.
Giving out too much here. But whenever some switch is flipped on your end, it just goes dark. Like there's nothing. I hear nothing, and then so I never hear the song.
This is good. This is good information for us. I actually don't know how our phones work.
Michael, I've been told our phones work perfectly and there's nothing wrong with them. So you're wrong.
Well, there's about the only fear I have is that you've hung up on me. So it's not the Russell Wilson, it's the hanging up. But I've moved past. We're post Russell Wilson now. He can't hurt me anymore.
That's good. No, he can only hurt other teams at this point.
He can hurt other teams, and I hope he does. But no, we're firmly on the Bo Nix train, and also firmly in first place in the AFC West. I don't know if you guys know that.
I did. I was aware. Bo Nix making some throws late in the game to beat the Chiefs. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Are you headed out to the land that is impossible to get to this weekend?
Yeah, we're gonna attempt to get there. I've got my numbered parking pass in the field outside of Beaver Stadium, and we're gonna drive in and see if we can get there, and if we can, more importantly, get out. That's always the question.
Yeah. And so, is this a Harrisburg situation, or is this a Pittsburgh situation, or what?
This is a Pittsburgh situation.
So you got 3 hours coming in? Yeah,
we maybe 2:45 if we push it a little bit. So, I don't know. I don't know. And this is the weekend that I just dread every time the Big Ten releases schedules. It's like I don't care. I don't care who Nebraska plays, what year it is. I just want to know what year do I have to go to Penn State. That's basically the only thing I care about.
Yeah, well, it turns out it's only like once every 10 years. So we're in pretty good shape as far as that's concerned.
that doesn't stop the complaints, though. I mean, the last time that they were there, Nebraska had Tanner Lee chucking passes and trying to get a backdoor cover.
Yeah, so, that was a wild one.
It's been a while.
What'd you take from Rhule today, if anything? Is their traveling will be a little bit easier than yours, sorry to say, but it's true. Anything else that you took from him today?
They're healthy. No issues injury-wise, so I guess that means Deshaun McCullough is back and good to go, which is an important thing for the defense, I think. When you're talking about tackles for loss and havoc plays, I mean, I think a lot of it kind of starts and ends with him. So that's a good update. And I also learned that the Chili's, where Matt Rhule met his wife in State College, is no longer there. So that's I learned that as well. But it kind of a non-newsy kind of day.
A good note. Like, did somebody ask him, "Hey, you're going to go buy the Chili's?"
Somebody asked him if the Chili's was still there, and it's not still, because this was a follow-up to questions about where Nebraska fans should go in State College. So Don't go to the Chili's because it's not there.
It doesn't exist anymore. Somebody's going to go over there and write a feature story on about what these walls have seen inside the former Chili's, or maybe it's just a field now. I don't know. All right.
Paradise turned into a Dollar General, probably.
Exactly. From a football perspective, I mean, is there any other way that this plays out that isn't a low possession kind of run the ball grinder type of game on Saturday night?
Oh, I think you'd have to have some dumb stuff happen to get something like that. I mean, whether it's like points off of turnovers, special teams something like that. Like, I think that's the way that it doesn't end that way. I mean, this screams 4-quarter, 1-score game in the second half to me. But I don't know. Like, I've been asked all week, like, what's the kind of the best scenario for Nebraska's offense? And I think if they had a game kind of similar to what they did against UCLA, with being able to run the ball and finding a couple big plays, I think that would change things, I guess, change the math a little bit. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like Penn State's probably, just the way they are, probably going to end up in a tight game like that. So no, I mean, I think it's going to be like traditional November Big Ten football, barring something really weird happening.
Nebraska, it's funny. Nebraska has known that there have been games, in the slate of games so far this year where they've known what the team is going to do to them, and the idea is like, all right, we're going to load up to stop the run. You assume it's the same here, given what Penn State has sort of found on the ground with Katron Allen, like a new, a refound identity, I think, a little bit over the last couple of weeks here. Their huge pass or rush to pass split last week, 50-13 or something like that. With that being said, we know kind of how that's going to go. How does Nebraska, I mean, what does it come down to for Nebraska defending the run? What's the key there?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of things. I mean, I think you gotta win on first down, because I mean, if you're facing a lot of like 2nd and 4s, 2nd and 3s, I mean, that's not going to end well for Nebraska. So you got to win on first down. You got to tackle well. I mean, I think that's, Nebraska's been at its best, and this isn't like earth-shattering analysis here, but I mean, you can, just watching it, you can tell when Nebraska's flowing to the ball a lot better than when they aren't. And you're going to have to get guys to the ball carrier, and you're going to have to tackle well when you get there. And then, I think up front, you're going to have to win one-on-ones. And I think, if at the end of the season you asked me, like, well, what's been the issue with Nebraska, against the run? And I just don't know if they're winning enough one-on-one battles consistently up front. And I think, when they've done well, I think they've done that at a high level. And when they haven't, it feels like, blocker on defender and nobody's shaking loose. So I think that's going to be the 3 big keys for Nebraska's defense. I mean, I think they'll be able to cover Penn State just fine on the back end. But, I think, they found a little new lease on life last week against Michigan State and feel like they can kind of bully teams a little bit. And I mean, just based on what Nebraska's shown on tape, what the numbers say, I think they're probably going to try to approach it the same way. So we'll see if this defense coming out of a bye week is up to the challenge. I mean, coming off of that UCLA game and talking to a couple of Nebraska defensive players after that game in the tunnel when they were heading to the bus, I mean, it seemed like a group that was in need of a bye week. Like, I think they were a little, they were kind of feeling the results of however many games they'd played in Big Ten play. Like, I do wonder if there's kind of a second wind maybe that group could find going into these last 2 games.
Offensively, the goal and the plan is to have it look similar to what it did 2 Saturdays ago against UCLA. With that being said, it's a different challenge, especially on the edges with their pass rushers. How would you expect Nebraska's offensive line to hold up, given that, I mean, you do have Latif in there who can make some plays for you with his legs? How does Nebraska kind of keep those guys on their heels a little bit coming off the edge.
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably lean into what you've done calling the game since basically Minnesota. I mean, I think that was kind of the tipping point where Nebraska realized, like, look, the inability to protect for some of those deep routes was going to necessitate them doing quick stuff, screens, kind of emptying the tank on some of those play calls to help beat back the pass rush. And I think you're going to see a mix of all that. It feels like a game, though, where you're going to need TJ to make 4 or 5 off-schedule plays.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that's scrambling for a first down, whether that's extending a play and finding somebody downfield, like, you're just going to need those types of plays to win a game like this on the road. So I think the approach is going to be fairly similar to what they did against UCLA. Maybe there's a few more wrinkles in there, but they're going to try to get Emmett Johnson going. I mean, they have to do that, I think, if they're going to win this game, and mix in some throws from TJ Lateef, who played with poise against UCLA, but it's going to be a completely different animal with Penn State. Though I am curious to see, what this atmosphere is going to be like, because just scanning some of the ticket sites and some of the secondary market stuff, I mean, you can get a ticket for $7 and get in the game right now. If you're just, driving around central Pennsylvania looking for something to do.
Well, question, are you driving around central Pennsylvania looking for something to do? We'll put that out there. All right, Bruntz, safe travels and good luck out there. See you soon.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Michael Bruntz from Husker 247. A text from Chris on the text line. Poll question: are you sad that the Chili's in State College is no longer there?
Oh yeah.
I am. I wonder what is there.
The restaurant Chili's is 1L, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know how you do this, but like, could you look up like a history of like where Chili's have been in State College? Like, Chili's was here, and chiliswashere.com. Maybe that's a website. And then we could actually get to the spot of what it was and then see if there's a business there right now.
They have the Twitter account. Used to be a Pizza Hut.
Used to be a Pizza Hut, used to be a Chili's.
Yeah.
Used to be a Chili's where Matt Rhule met his wife in State College. All right. We'll be back. It's time to grunt the slate. After this, on 1620 The Zone, but first, football season is in full swing, and however you'd like to get on the action, you can do it on Underdog right now in Nebraska. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Plus, with Underdog's ultra-fast payouts, you can get your profits in a snap. Download the app today and use promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all of it on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. Crypto.com predictions. The term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing. Get terms _DFS_.html for details. Consult with your play call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.